Needs a shoulder to cry on. Yeah.
Hi friends, welcome back to my kitchen and welcome if you are new. I'm excited that you're here this morning with me. If you're new, I'm Cheryl and this is Table Full of Joy. And we've got a couple things we're gonna do today. We're gonna make some banana bread. I've got some discard from my sourdough that I need to use up. Hubby's been asking for some banana bread, so we're gonna make his little wish come true today. We are also gonna make some BLTs with our amazing homemade bread we made yesterday. Let me show you. So we made this bread yesterday. I'll leave a link in the description box for you guys for this video. But this bread was phenomenal, friends. It was so good. We just had it with butter and jelly last night with our dinner. I was just gonna have it with butter, and then a friend said, you know what goes really good with homemade bread is good butter and homemade strawberry jam. And I said, you know what? We were gifted a jar of strawberry rhubarb jam from a sweet friend at church. And so we had that last night and it was amazing. It was so good. So we're gonna make some BLTs tonight for dinner. And so we'll bring you guys along as we make some BLTs with this. We're cleaning out some waffle fries out of our freezer because we are still in Pantry Challenge, friends. We're still going strong. We have not been to the grocery store. We have not shopped for anything. And so we are still winding down. I may have to go get produce this weekend. And a couple of, I've got to get dog food stuff. So if you haven't seen that video, I make homemade dog food for our dogs once a week. I'll leave a link in the description for that video as well. But that was one of the things that I made available to myself during Pantry Challenge was the ability to go and get dog food stuff if I need to. And so that is something that I'm not including in the Pantry Challenge. So I'm gonna have to go this weekend and get dog food stuff. I'm gonna have to get a few produce items, maybe 1 or 2 dairy things. And I think that should be it. So I will show you guys what we pick up as far as that stuff. I want to be completely transparent in this Pantry Challenge so that I'm showing you guys everything that we're using. And if we do have to buy certain things, that I'm letting you know what I'm getting. And I'm only getting them because we are out of whatever it is that we need as far as fresh items. So before we make this banana bread, I need some coffee. I had 1 cup earlier. I took a shower, got a couple things done. I need some more coffee to get going to get the rest of my stuff done today. So I'll bring you along as I make a cup of coffee first. So I have my coffee already hot. I love my little frother. Oh my gosh, I love this thing. So we're gonna froth up a little bit of heavy cream. We don't need a ton, but we do need enough. And also I make my own salted caramel syrup, and I put this in my heavy cream to flavor my coffee. So I stick this in the microwave for about a minute just to get it hot because I don't want to put cold cream in my hot coffee. It's just not going to be good. So we're going to do that. But while we're waiting for that to get done, let's get started with our bread. So I need 1 cup of sourdough discard. This is my sourdough start. Oh wow, that had a beautiful, you can see all those, look at those bubbles in there. That's what you want, friends. So I need a cup of discard, but I don't want to take too much out of this because this is my start. So I also need to have 50 grams of my start to keep my starter going. So we're going to measure out 50 grams of this first so that we make sure we have enough of this. I have more discard in my fridge that I could add to this, and I will do that if I need to. So let's get our coffee made first. I thought I would have time to get it done, but you ever play that game with yourself where you put something in the microwave and you're like, okay, I've got this much time on the microwave. How much can I get done in that amount of time? I do that with myself all the time. All right, so here's my heavy cream. Here's my little frother, and we are gonna just froth this heavy cream up. You can see how quick this makes this. Look at that. It works so incredibly well, friends. And I don't want to make whipped cream. I just want to get a good froth on this so I can add this to my coffee. All right, I've got my cup of hot coffee. I do not do latte art. I just pour my cream in. And I will save the rest of this cream for another cup of coffee. All right, so I have it zeroed out. We're gonna measure out 50 grams of starter. And we'll set this aside until we're ready to feed. Whoops. Something went goofy here. Hold on, let me start this over. Okay, we're gonna zero it out. Now we're gonna add in 50 grams. A little bit too much. $53, let's pull off just. Okay, that right there is exactly 50 grams. This is what I need to keep my starter going. So we're gonna set this aside and we'll deal with our starter a little bit later. But now I need 1 cup. So let's see if we have enough in this container to do 1 cup. If we're short, I can grab another jar of discard out of the fridge. I am loving using my discard, friends. I am finding so many uses for this discard. I have made crackers, I have made bread, I have made cookies, I've made tortillas. I've just made so many things with my discard. Okay, it looks like we're gonna be just a tiny bit shy of having what we need. So we're gonna grab our jar of discard out of the fridge and we will add that to this. This is my big old jar of discard that I've been adding to. So we're gonna take, I'm just gonna put this over there. We're gonna take a little bit of this out until we have a full cup of discard. All right, that looks good to me. You always want to keep your discard in the refrigerator. All right, we need to deal with our bananas before we put our discard in. Very, very ripe bananas. I made the mistake of sending a banana in my husband's lunch yesterday, and he was like, those are not very good. So that's when he said, would you make me some banana bread? And I said, of course. So we are gonna make some banana bread just the way he likes it. We've got some pecans that we need to use up that are in our pantry, so we're gonna put some pecans in this. I love nuts in banana bread. I don't know about you, but I am a huge fan of having nuts in a banana bread. So let's get these mashed up real quick. I still have 2 bananas left over there that are a little bit ripe, so I think I may throw those in a Ziploc bag and put them in the freezer. And I will have those to do something, or I may make some banana waffles tomorrow morning. I found a recipe for banana oat waffles, and I may end up using our little Dash waffle maker and making my husband some waffles tomorrow morning. So we'll see. I won't put them in the freezer quite yet. I'll talk to him tonight and see how he feels about having some waffles tomorrow, because we will probably have a little bit of bacon left over from our BLTs tonight, and so we probably could do a little bit of bacon with some homemade waffles. Make sure we don't leave any of our discard in here because we need all of this. This is what's going to make our banana bread super, super tasty. And I will tell you this, the research that I have done, sourdough is one of the easiest breads for your system to digest because of the fermentation process that sourdough goes through. That was, I don't know if you could hear it through the camera, but when I opened that jar of discard, you hear that kind of like an air releasing in there. And that is that's the fermentation. That's how this makes that kind of sourdough bread is from the fermentation. All right, so we've got this mixed up. Let's move on now to our dry ingredients real quick. We don't have very many to put in here. I'm gonna grab a little whisk so I can lighten up our flour. So we need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. We need 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. If I go a little heavy, it'll be fine. My spoon does not fit in my jar. But like I said, hubby and I, we love cinnamon. Cinnamon has a lot of really great medicinal purposes, and so a little extra cinnamon isn't going to hurt it. And then last but not least, we need a half teaspoon of salt. And we are using our Redmond's real salt. If you're new around here, this is the best salt ever. I was introduced to this by another YouTube channel that I follow, and it is the best. Hubby and I did a taste test between kosher salt and Redmond's real salt, and the flavor is just incredible. All right, so we have this all mixed together. Have a little drink of our coffee real quick before it gets cold. Oh, friends, there's nothing like that. That is so good. So I have another bowl here. We're gonna mix 2 eggs. And you want your eggs to be at room temperature. That's where you get the best like leavening out of your baked goods. 3/4 of a cup of white sugar, just granulated sugar. You can use whatever kind of sugar you want. And it says a teaspoon. I'm gonna do just a couple of splashes of vanilla because hubby and I really like vanilla. Let's give this a whisk, and then we're just gonna combine all of our wet ingredients with our flour, and we're gonna fold those in. We're not gonna use our whisk for that because I don't wanna overmix. But I wanna get this all mixed really, really, really well. I'm excited to try this recipe. This is a new recipe to me. I have not tried this specific recipe. Kind of like yesterday, the recipe that I did for that bread that I just showed you was a brand new recipe to me, and it was phenomenal. I wouldn't say it was, yes, it was easy, but there's a lot of steps because it's bread. And so you don't just say, oh, I'm going to make a loaf of bread real quick because making bread is not a quick, unless it's a quick bread, kind of like this. But if you're trying to make a really good sandwich bread or something like that, it is not a quick process. All right, so we have our bananas in our discard, and we're going to add those, and we're going to very gently fold those things in. We don't want to overwork our flour because we don't want to activate too much of the gluten and give us a really tough bread. We want this to be a really nice, light, moist banana bread. So I'm going to get this almost mixed together, and then we'll add our pecans so that we don't overmix it while we're adding our pecans in. Oh, and you know, friends, we forgot our butter. We need to have 1 cup of butter in here. So let's get this in the microwave real quick and melt this. We won't mix this until we get that in. So I am on day 6 of being home with our weather and our power outages and all the things that are happening around here. It's just been crazy. All right, our butter is almost melted. We're just gonna give this a little stir to finish melting that last little chunk. And I think we're gonna need a bigger whisk, or not a whisk, a bigger rubber spatula than this one to fold all of this together. These little ones are not really good for that. They're meant for scraping out containers, bowls, that kind of thing. All right, let's put our butter in. And we're just gonna fold all of these ingredients together really gently, starting from the bottom and coming up so that we're getting everything around the edges. But you don't wanna do a really brisk stir on this because that's gonna really overwork and activate that gluten. And we're not doing a regular bread. This is gonna be a nice little treat. So just make sure that you're just gently stirring this. I think I'm gonna go ahead and grab my pecans now before I finish mixing that because I don't wanna overwork it. So I have this bag of pecans that was in my pantry. I like to keep nuts and those kinds of things on hand. So we're just gonna add that package. We're gonna finish mixing all of this together. Make sure that we don't have any dry flour in the bottom of our bowl, because that will leave a flour pocket and it's just not gonna be very good. So I see a little bit of flour down here at the bottom. I wanna make sure we get that all up. All right, I think that's mixed plenty good. Got my avocado spray. This is a Pullman bread pan. I think it's gonna fit in this. I love this pan. This is what I made my bread in last night. So instead of having one big puffy loaf, I think this is going to be a thinner loaf, which I'm okay with that. And this is going to bake for 60 to 70 minutes. At 350, so it's going to be in there for quite a while. Banana breads always have to bake for a really long time, but I want to get all of that batter off. Let's give it a quick little smooth out with our spatula. And here's our banana bread going in the oven, and this is going to take, like I said, about 60 to 70 minutes. Your oven will determine the time that it's going to take. Everybody's ovens heats differently. It gets, you know, different. It just is never the same. So I'm going to check mine probably about 50 minutes, 55 minutes, and I'll see where it's at. If it needs a little more time, we'll leave it in a little longer. If it's not, we'll pull it out. But this is a different kind of pan. So this is not a regular loaf pan where it's going to have like this really huge bubble at the top. It's going to be more long, it's going to be longer. I couldn't think of the word. It's going to be longer, and it may not be quite as tall, which I'm totally fine with that. I tend to like those types. That's why I was super excited when I found the two set pans on Amazon. I found them. My sweet friend Tamara from Southern Wife Everyday Life, I watch her a lot, and she uses these pans all the time because she makes her own bread and all the things. So we, as I said, I'm on day 6 of being in my house. I have not left my house since last Friday. This is Friday again. So I've been in my house now for one solid week, have not left. And so I've been watching a lot of YouTube. Hubby and I, he was home for, let's see, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. He finally went back to work yesterday because he was able to get out of our street and get to work. So he went to work on Thursday, went back again today. But while he was home, we were watching a lot of YouTube and getting a lot of ideas. So I have this notepad that I keep sitting next to me in my chair. And when I'm sitting there watching YouTube, I love to have that notepad there because I am constantly writing down ideas of, oh, that recipe looked great. So I'm going in and writing these things down, making little notes of, you know, what channel did I see this on, so I can go back and find it again, so I can rewatch it again to see how they did this. We have found some really tasty recipes over the last week, so I'm super excited about so many things. We've actually done several of them, and I will leave a link in the description box for those for you guys. There actually should all be under the Pantry Challenge 2024 playlist, but I will double check to make sure that they're there. Just check for that playlist and you'll find everything in there that we've done, because everything we're doing is in the Pantry Challenge, because we are not shopping at all. We're not buying anything. Like I said, we are buying only dog food, produce, and dairy if we need to, and of course my heavy cream or coffee cream or whatever I'm doing at the time. We're buying that because I have to have my coffee, friends. I can't function without it, so I've got to have my coffee. So I'm gonna go sit and enjoy this. I'm gonna work and get some computer work done. I've got several videos that I'm editing right now, getting ready to upload those things for you guys. And I'm gonna let this bread cook, and we will come back when this bread's done. And then after that, we're gonna bring you guys along tonight when we make BLT sandwiches with our homemade bread that I'm super excited to see how that toasts up tonight, how it works with making a sandwich out of it. because as I said, it was a little bit of a process. It wasn't something, like I said, where I'm just gonna make a quick loaf of bread. It doesn't work that way. So I'm excited to see how this works, because this can totally be something that I start Saturday morning and I can get the bread made, you know, and just have fresh bread for all week. For us, we don't eat a lot of sandwiches, but we do eat them for dinner sometimes. And then we do occasionally like to have some fresh bread with whatever we're having for dinner. So I'm excited to try this tonight for BLTs. We'll bring you guys along with us when we do those tonight, but we'll come back in a little bit and let you see what this banana bread looks like. Hubby's gonna be so excited when he gets home tonight. So we'll see you in a little bit. All right, friends, I just pulled our banana bread out of the oven. Does that not look amazing? Not quite sure why it's split, but you know what? It's still gonna taste amazing because my house smells amazing right now. So we're gonna let this cool and we're gonna make some BLTs in a little while. All right, friends, our banana bread, it smells amazing. It's just gonna sit here and continue to cool till my husband gets home. He's excited to try this. He asked me to wait till he gets home so we can try it together. So you guys will see that. But I need to get our bacon in the oven because we are having BLTs tonight with our homemade bread from yesterday. So I need to get this bacon going. I always cook my bacon in the oven. It's just the way I do it. As soon as I found out about cooking bacon in the oven, it was a game changer for me. So I don't cook my bacon on the stovetop anymore. It's a mess. I don't like the splatter everywhere. I don't like the mess that it leaves. So I cook my pan or my bacon on some foil at about 400 degrees for about roughly 15-20 minutes, something like that. Super easy to cook it this way and not have to deal with a big splatter mess all over your stove, which nobody wants to clean that up. No, I don't. So we're just gonna get our bacon on this so that this bacon is already cooked and it's ready to go, so that when my husband gets home, we can sample this banana bread together, and then we can get our tomatoes sliced up, get all of the things ready to go for our BLTs for dinner. It's going to be a very quiet Friday evening for us, which I'm excited about. This week has been a little bit on the stressful side with all of the ice that we've had to deal with and power outages and all the things that have gone on. It's just made it stressful. And now that we are on the downhill side of that, I got the text from my boss earlier today that said we will be reopening on Monday. So I'll be going back to work, which, okay, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. So I'll be back to work, but I'll still be doing as many videos as I possibly can after I return to work. So we're gonna let our oven finish preheating. We're gonna put this in the oven. There it is right there. This is how we do it. We just put a single layer of bacon on this baking sheet. We put that in the oven and I don't have to babysit it. I can come back in like 10 or 15 minutes and look at it. Sometimes you have to flip it, sometimes you don't, but that's gonna take care of itself. We'll take it out, put it on some paper towels so it's nice and drained and ready to go, and we'll make some delicious sandwiches for dinner. All right, our bacon, I just pulled it out of the oven. There it is. We're gonna get this on some paper towel on a plate so that it can finish draining, getting all the excess grease off of it so that it's not gonna make our sandwiches oily tonight. And then we're gonna toast up some bread and we're gonna make some delicious BLT sandwiches. Hi friends. All right, so our banana bread is done. Smells really good. We are gonna slice off a couple pieces and we're gonna taste this. You can see all the pecans in there. You want butter? We're gonna have this little appetizer and then we're gonna make some BLTs with our homemade bread from yesterday. Let me take the first bite.
Nice and moist.
It's really good. I taste that little bit of sour from the sourdough. Super good. We're gonna go finish this. We'll come back and make some BLTs in just a little bit. All right, friends, we're making some delicious BLT sandwiches with our homemade bread. I'm lightly, just very lightly toasting our bread. I don't want it to be super crunchy, so I think that's gonna be good. I'm just sticking my bacon back in the oven for just a minute or two just to get it hot again. We've got our waffle fries already in there, so let's get our BLTs made. So I've got our pieces of bread here. You can't have a BLT without mayonnaise, so we're gonna put some mayo on all 4 pieces. I just want it light. I wanted it really lightly toasted. It really is hard to eat if the bread is too toasted. Hubby and I both find it that it really just tears up the roof of your mouth, and that's not something I want when I'm trying to enjoy one of my favorite sandwiches. Hubby and I both enjoy cheese on our BLTs. I know that's not traditional, but we both enjoy cheese on them. And I just go with good old American cheese. And when I make my BLTs, I don't like to put my tomato up against the bread. I like to keep my lettuce up against the bread. That protects it from the tomato, because the tomato is going to make your bread wet. So we're just going to put some lettuce on here. As soon as our bacon comes out, we will put our bacon on our sandwiches. I just like to cook it ahead of time so that it is ready and waiting for me, and I'm not trying to cook bacon when I'm ready to make a BLT sandwich, because I want to be able to make my sandwich and just go sit down and eat. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and put our tomato on, because we can put our tomato on our lettuce, and then we can just put our bacon here and then flop our cheese layer right on top. Push that lettuce down a little bit. This is one of my absolute favorite sandwiches. I love a good BLT. We've got our bacon ready. So this is a BLT, so you've got to have bacon. And that's not just 1 or 2 pieces. So we're gonna go 4 pieces of bacon on this sandwich. And it's very hot. I also enjoy a good turkey club. If you have not tried those, you should. Turkey club is essentially a BLT sandwich with turkey on it. And if you want to go California style, then that is avocado. And that's also another good way to go. All right, so this is the hubbies. Let's get this cut in half. Look at that, friends. That is a good looking BLT. All right, friends, here is our BLT and our waffle fries for dinner tonight. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me in my kitchen today as we made some delicious banana bread using our sourdough discard. We cooked some bacon, we made a BLT sandwich, and we just had some fun in the kitchen. And I love it when you guys join me in my kitchen for all these projects that we've got going. I hope you'll come back. If you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button up there. We'd love to have you a part of our YouTube family. Hit that notification bell so you're notified every single time we upload a new video. And friends, we are 18 subscribers away from hitting our 1,000. We are so incredibly close. So please continue to help us share our channel with all your friends and family. Help us get our food out there for people to see what we're making. And we just appreciate you guys. We love you. We appreciate all your love and support over this last year on this journey that we're on. And we hope you guys will come back. We'll talk to you in the comments. Have a great day, friends, and God bless.
Everyone needs someone to rely on. Yes, everyone needs a friend. So let's come together, celebrate each other, stand united as one. We lift our hands up and